Good day, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Let's Talk Networking. I'm Terilee Harrison, and I am passionate about helping coaches, consultants, and solopreneurs be able to network in the most dynamic and lucrative way. Today, I have an amazing guest coming to us from the Gold Coast of Australia. Ross Keating is joining us. Welcome, Ross.
Hi, Terilee. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm just honored to be here.
I'm honored to have you as my guest, and thanks for coming on the weekend because you don't have to.
Hey, I'm down at the beach.
Well, that is true. Your jacket doesn't. Your jacket doesn't go with the beach, but you. I know you just want to look professional for our live today. That's all.
That's right. Yeah. They don't want to see me in my Speedos, believe me.
Oh, well, that's a different live. They don't want to see me either. Oh my goodness. I'm excited today to introduce you all to Ross. Ross is the president of one of our national Australia chapters, and he is just an amazing professional. He says that people tell him he's into the details, and he's like, well, no, not really. But he is one of those more detailed guys that can help those of us who are not into the details with things with his giftings. So he helps businesses grow revenue and customers in 5 easy steps using integrated marketing, sales, and CRM plans and tactics. His business, as you see his website there, is Nextree Business Growth Consultancy. So welcome, Ross. So delighted to have you.
Thank you, Terilee. Great to be here, and thanks everybody for watching in today. It's fantastic.
You know, I really think that there are some of us, we all have our gifts, Ross, and there are some of us who need to connect with somebody like you because our gifts just don't lend to some of the things that you thrive in and where your area of genius is. And so I know that you have 3 tips for us today, and I would just love to dive in with you on those. And if you're watching, and if you're even watching the replay, let us know. And if you have a question, drop it in the comments. I think Ross and I can keep an eye on the comments, and he would be happy to comment and answer them for you, even if you're watching the replay. So Ross, one of your first tips is it's important in the beginning. We have to know where we're going. Tell us more.
Well, it's really interesting. I've always, the longer I've been in business, and I've worked with corporates and I've been consulting for the last 15 years. So what I've found is that the businesses that do better are those businesses that end up writing out what they want to achieve. They want to do where they are now and where they want to go. And the more, it doesn't have to be really rigid and a great big dust collector. But if you write it down, you tend to try and put the detail and connect the dots better. And what I found, the businesses do achieve their goals. And I was looking at some research the other day coming out of the States, and they said that 80% of the big corporates have a business plan that they are actually following. And their executives are tying it to what they do and what their channels have to do, and then what the other guys do. Yet 56% of small businesses don't have any formal business plan written, documented at all. They're flying, and we change it. And I know myself. If I haven't written it down, I can change it because I'm not committed to it because I haven't written that down to say I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it by then. And it's not hard. People say, "Well, how do you set a goal?" I say, "Well, how much?" Often money resonates with us. We understand the concept of business. We don't want to share our deepest, darkest secrets with people. But in business, when you're talking to someone, saying, "Well, how much are you making now?" I'm making, 6-figure sum or whatever it might be. How much do you want to earn in 12 months' time? And young people will normally tell me they want to earn X amount of dollars more. I said, "Well, there's the goal." Now the easy part is let's go back and how are you going to do it? What are you going to sell? Who are you going to sell it to? Why are they going to buy it? What's the benefits to them? Because I always really, really believe in the benefits. And so if you've got those, you can work it backwards. What marketing you're going to use. And it's very simple. And that's my tip. If you know where you're going, if you go on holiday, you always generally know. Most people say, I'm going to go to maybe Yosemite National Park, or we're going to go to Uluru here in Australia, or going somewhere in Malaysia. We set a goal. We know we're going to go, and we know how much we're going to spend on the holiday. It's the same concept. It's not hard.
I love how you say that, and how easy you make it. but some people need to be guided with that, right? And some of us, my husband wrote business plans years ago, so I was privy to like the business planning world. But I think that a lot of so I know what you speak and the detail that can go in and the planning, but some people probably have never seen one, right? And for me, I think you probably, if you see any of my stuff, my like goals and stuff, like it's not fancy, man. They're Post-its on the wall, but I'll tell you what, they get focused on, and it's not the detail, but you're right. If I realized one day that I didn't have open Southeast Asia at all. And while it's not something I'm focused on every single day, Ross, I thought, nope, that needs to be there, because if it's not there, it won't get thought about at all, right? And so I do appreciate, and I know that you're talking about way more than that. This is my simple planning and my simple goals. But
simple's good. It doesn't have to what works for you. If you post-it notes with a goal on them, something on the post-it note to be done by X, that's fine. That's a business plan. It doesn't have to be a document. Whatever works for you, do it. It might be just people might relate to images.
Yes, some people relate to images.
Yes. I want to have a XYZ car in 12 months. Well, how much is it going to cost you, and how are you going to get it?
I'll tell you what. Yes, I recently put down some like 2-year goals and got serious about the money I want to save. That even goes beyond the money I need to make to save that money, right? Got serious about like, instead of like some people would do the picture of the car, I got serious about like the house, right? And found a sample house, and it is. If we don't know where we're going, if I spent the next 2 years and just had no plan, I wouldn't get there. I wouldn't get where I think I want to go.
I did a lot of hiking in my younger days, and people always tell you, you get lost because you don't have a compass and you get lost. And most of us have one foot is slightly bigger than the other, and we will walk in a circle in the direction of the biggest, to the opposite side of the biggest foot. So I tend to walk to my right, and I'll do a right-handed circle. People with a bigger foot on the right-hand side will do a left-hand circle. But what I'm saying is that when I was out in the bush, I had a compass and I knew where I was trying to go to. But if I didn't have it, I'd walk in a circle. And that's what we do in business, because a lot of people feel, I'm not getting anywhere. Why am I not getting anywhere? Well, what can you change? If you look at it and say, I've got to change that. And I set my own goal for myself, my own business, right? And I managed this. Australia finishes their financial year on the 30th of June, and I managed to achieve my goal for my business. I said, fantastic. And that was there's a range of goals there, but one of them was financial. Got it, very good. Now I said, now I want to find my personal income goal, because there is a big difference between your business revenue and your personal income revenue. Okay, so now I've got to focus this year. Got to go to the business, get to a certain size so it's ticking over and it's doing all the bits and pieces. Now I want to have my goal so I can do the stuff on the beach.
That's right. Well, yes, we all have the reason, right? We all have the reason. So I hope, thank you for sharing that, just about the compass, and even I learned something about our feet and hiking even, and just how we naturally might go in the circle. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yes, because we do want to do that. Whether it's buying the house, go to the beach, whatever it is, we all have the things. We all have the things. I promise you.
I'm here I do what I love, so it's not a job. But I do it to help me get, because I want to go out with my wife and our dog and see our daughter when we can in COVID.
Yep. Yeah, I got you there. Boy, do I get you there. You have no idea. Okay, so point number 2. So we need to know where we're going, and you see how he is into the details, and it's important, is we need to know who our customers are. Tell us more about this.
Well, this is one of those ones where we talk about customers, and I like to talk about it from customers can be anything. A customer, if you work, the end goal is you want to turn people into repeat customers. That's the end goal in business. You want them to come back to you to buy more. And so let's leave the getting leads and turning prospects into customers for now. That's a whole nother ballgame. But if you understand who your customers are, then you can do a lot of repeat business, because it's the easiest source of income. Like if people have bought from you once, research shows that they're 27% more likely to buy from you again. They bought from you twice, so that same research showed that they're 45% more likely to buy from you again. And if they bought from 3 or more times, they're 54% more likely. So would you like to go out to 10 people or 100 people in the street or a room and say, would you like to buy from me? Because you know that that's not the conversion rate. But if you go to a room full of people who have bought from you before, you've got at least a 27% chance of making a sale.
Yeah.
From them. And there's a lot more of them that will buy from you because they had a really good experience. So that's why when you're looking for cash flow and you're looking to make sales, if you've got people who have even looked at your product and said no, you've got a better chance of selling to them than something else, because no is never no for never.
Yeah.
But you look at your existing customers and your past customers, then you got it. And that's what I've just mentioned the term. I mentioned your customers, then I mentioned past customers, yeah? So the first ones are your current customers. You have to define what a current customer is, because different businesses have different buying life cycles. And so if you're selling in a retail shop or a retail environment, people might come weekly, daily, monthly to buy something from you. People who are offering services, it might not be quite so frequent. They might come weekly for a massage therapy. They may be doing some counseling or some mindfulness. They might come weekly, fortnightly, whatever that may be. So you have to know what that is. But at some point, they stop coming to you for whatever reason. Research shows 20%. Now, this is the American Quality Society back in about 2004 did a survey. And it's often quoted, and it's under different guises, but the one I found was American Quality Society. And they said that 20% of the people on average will leave the business for nothing, no reason. That it's just come to an end. They've died. They've moved well and truly out of the market area. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're no longer in the market. If you think of people who have infants, they want nappies, right? You buy nappies, but once the kids toilet train, you don't need nappies anymore. So they're out of the market. But they might be a repeat customer further down the line. So you've got to, and if you're looking at real estate agents is a customer, a person who's buying a house or selling a house from you. Once that sale is made, are they still a customer or are they a past customer? You've got to define it. How do you treat them? Because when you talk and make offers to an existing customer, they're buying, and you know they're going to buy again. And they're going to buy relatively shortly. You talk to them differently. But if they're a past customer, you're going to talk to them differently, because you want to make them come back and use your services again. As a real estate agent, you want them to come back and maybe sell their investment property with you or buy an investment property from you. How far down the line are they going to do that? Maybe research shows, my understanding, I'm not in the real estate industry, but my understanding, around about 2 to 3 years, people will start looking at investment properties if they're in that financial area. Yeah. So you want to be communicating, but you have to know when they've stopped being a customer and know when to change your communication to that. And then if you've got know when people stopped. But there are some people who buy from you regularly, particularly for those businesses where there is a more regular purchase happening. There's a point where sometimes people stop coming in to buy. And why have they stopped buying? Are they going to come back? If they might be buying something regularly every week for food. They might be buying some food every week, or they might be buying household items for makeup and things like that every month. All of a sudden, they missed a month. Maybe they missed 2 months. Have they gone away? Have they left? How are you going to get them to come back? So again, your communication and I call these people lapsed customers or inactive, but they haven't left you yet, but they're possibly looking at other options.
Yes.
So you need to communicate with them differently than somebody who is still buying from you regularly, because you're going to give those people added values. So if you know if you know who a current customer is and what defines a current customer, you can define what a past customer is. And then you can define those ones, what I call at risk, the lapsed customers, somebody who you want to come back. And that's so important to you. From that, if you can define that, your marketing, your people when you're doing social media, you're doing advertising, things going out in your blogs, you can send 3 different types of blogs out or emails out, one to the current customers, one to the past customers. I love you. We love you and you liked us. We want you to come back. And here's a special offer for you to come back. And hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. Is something wrong? And I would be getting onto the phone to those people. And I worked with a company where we did that, and we saved 50% of the people in that boat. They came back and bought by picking up the phone and saying, "Hi, there's a problem. Is there a problem? Don't you love us anymore?" Didn't quite sound like that, but that's a really important part. So there it is. Your customers, you've got 3 types of customers: current customers, past customers, or lapsed and inactive customers. Define those, and you can make a big difference to your cash flow fairly shortly in 30 to 90 days.
Amazing. So our current customers, our past customers, and those who are, wait, what was the last one? I had it. It was there, Ross.
The lapsed.
The lapsed ones.
Lapsed or inactive.
Yes. Yes. So good. And you know, it reminded me of now, since I've been in Singapore for 4 years, we have not had a vehicle here. But the last time I purchased a car in the States, you know, my salesman, like, you don't purchase a car every day, right? But the gentleman who sold us that car every year on my birthday for like 5 years, he texted me on my birthday to wish me a happy birthday. Oh, no, maybe he even picked up the phone and called me, right? And those things are powerful to have you remember that person. And we need to think about, depending on what our business is, you are so right, knowing who they are and how are we still engaging them, which I think kind of leads us into, and I feel like your description, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like your description of knowing the types of customers leads us into talking about like leveraging technology and segmenting and communicating. It leads us right in, right?
Gee, what a surprise.
Yeah, tell us more. So tell us more, because I think that you just were like gave us like the little tip of the iceberg, and now there's more. There's more.
Yeah, and it is. These are you in doing the 3 groups. It's what you call turning. You know, you're segmenting the customer base. Okay, and the rule of thumb is 80% of your revenues come from 20% of your customers. So you've got to know who's buying, who's paying, what it is. And this is where technology can come in. You've got an accounting system. I mean, you might be just using a spreadsheet to do your accounting because you don't want to, you don't see the value in using something like Xero or QuickBooks or whatever. But you still need to know who's paying what, how much, and which are your most important customers, because you want to treat those. And those 20% of people who pay 80% of your revenue, you want more of them. And so if you understand those, unless you can define what they look like. Now, I've got my ideal profiles, and I'd love to show you, but I've got 2. I've got Michael. He was born in the 1980s. He tends to be around about late 40s to early 50s. He's dressed in a jacket, loose collar, often has a shaved or bald head. He's one of 2 to 3 directors. His partner's possibly working in the business with him, but not visible that much. And then we've got all these different demographics in the business and some of their values and beliefs. But you see, I've put a name to Michael, and I actually went online and said, what's a popular name of a man born in the 1980s?
Yeah.
And then I've got the other one is the female. I've got Lauren. Now Lauren Lauren is one of my clients, and she's awesome, and I would just love to. She's just fantastic. But she was born in the late 80s, early 90s. She's in the early 30s to mid 40s, and so it goes on. So I've broken those down. And all of a sudden, when you see those people, you can start writing. And this is where the market is. I'm a dangerous speaker. I'm talking about marketing. I'm not really a marketer, but I understand it quite well. And you can make it, but your database can collect a lot of information. It can be your single source of truth. And I call it we call it a customer relationship marketing management database. I tend, and what you're doing, and I say, is you're creating your personal relationship management. That's what you're doing. We're trying to create personal relationships.
Yeah.
Not customer, because it's prospects as well. Because if you can define who your customers are, and the best customers you want more of, you can go looking for them. And you can get your database to work, and you can do your marketing and social media focused around the Michaels and the Laurens in the world. And that segmentation, and then you can send small information. I've got a database of about 5,000 companies and people in my database. I've got it so I can, in about 15 seconds, click on it, and I can get 18 people who are bookkeepers and accountants within a certain geographic area out of 5,000. Like that.
Wow.
And I can send them an email saying, hey, it's there. Or I can do something like 30 HR consultants in the geographic and say, here's an article that might be of interest to you. Not trying to sell them, I just want to keep in contact. And that's what a customer relationship management system can do. And then people talk about marketing automation these days, and drip campaigns and things like that. Really dangerous beast, another conversation. But marketing technology enables you to keep people interested and your own customers interested, but don't rely on marketing automation to do all the work. People get lazy. They forget that a touch, we talk about 7 to 12 touches and things like that, and ongoing touches, monthly, quarterly, whatever. A touch is an email, liking a post, commenting on a post, sending them a birthday card if it's appropriate. Not everybody gets a birthday card. It's not always appropriate to send somebody a birthday card. A celebration, congratulations. And technology enables us, so your social media becomes an important part, and sharing information. So that's where the technology stack is not just the customer relationship management system or the marketing automation system, the accounting system. Make sure that you're sending out the invoices. If you're sending out invoices manually or via a system, make sure it's right, because what upsets you and I most? When you get a wrong invoice.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not the right price. So you've got to really look at those things, and technology helps. But what you're ultimately wanting to do is personal relationship management. You're managing personal relationships. That's what you want. And you sometimes, at a scale, you have to do it broadly. But the more broad you become, or the less personal you become, the more likely they are not really, it's not genuine and authentic.
Yeah,
so
good. So good. I just appreciate, I think it's almost like a pause of, hey, and just examining, where am I in my business now? And examining with the things that you're sharing, am I doing these things? And I don't think it's ever too late to play catch up if we're not, right? It's never too late.
No.
And I bet that and I bet that you would invite a conversation with anyone listening that's been resonating with anything you've said and feels that they'd love to see how they might collaborate with you, or if there's ways that you can help them. So would you do me a favor? Thank you so much for your insight today. Would you share with us the best way to get a hold of you? And it's probably going to be your website that's right there, right?
Well, the website's the easiest way. There's a contact there. There's a way to just book a 20-minute, 30-minute session for no charge, no commitment to anything. They can contact me on Facebook. Or LinkedIn. I'm pretty much anywhere on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. If they can find Ross Keating, there's only one that looks like me, believe me.
There's only one that looks like you?
Except my twin brother, Matt Damon, you can see the resemblance, of course.
That's right. That is right.
So
that is right.
They can contact me, reach out to me through any of those means. Happy to have a conversation with them, send them any information I can.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Ross, I want to just thank you again for talking to me on Saturday morning and talking to all of us on Saturday morning, gleaning your insight and sharing so that we can get on track with our business, with where we really want to go, where we're needing to go and want to go. Just thank you again for your time, and thank you to those who have watched this edition of Let's Talk Networking. I will see you back here tomorrow, and our closing quote for Let's Talk Networking is, when you figured out what it is that you want to ask for, do it with boldness, confidence, and certainty. So everyone have a great rest of your day. Thanks again to Ross, and we'll see you again tomorrow.